They protect global interests. They carry out a special mission. They represent their country. They're always composed and courteous. Ambassadors, their personal and professional life. Watch Persona Grata. When a soul does not recognize boundaries, life becomes much more interesting. This thesis perfectly reflects attitude of our hero towards life, a temperamental and merciless to the ordinary things, hungry for knowledge and full of energy. Meet an Arab millionaire and a motor traveler for 7 years now, Abdulmohsen Al-Baghli. Kazakhstan has become one of the points of its ornate almost round the world travels.
This is my first trip visiting Kazakhstan. As I mentioned to you, I'm a traveler. I travel all around the world. So, as a traveler in a motorcycle in the land, I meet a lot of people, a lot of culture, a lot of community. Honestly, I really like Kazakhstan. From the moment I enter Kazakhstan, from the last west-south point with Astrakhan from Russia, in spite of the lack of communication between me and the people, they are so nice. I really like they have a really, the hospitality I received from them. They are willing. They are really like to help a foreigner. For them, I'm just a foreigner. They know nothing about me. Some of them, especially in the rural countryside, they don't know what's Kuwait. I'm just a foreigner. I don't speak their language, but they received me in their humble house, and they will invite me to stay, to sleep, to stay in their dining, humble, simple dining table. It was very touching thing that the Kazakh man, he's willing to, he would and he like to share with me.
Abdulmohsen Al-Baghli admits that he never dreamed of traveling at a motorcycle as a transport mean has never caused an interest. Living in Kuwait, and as he was expected, he worked in the oil sector. Mr. Al-Baghli spent his entire adult life in the so-called comfort zone.
I used to work for oil company in Kuwait. Kuwait, we have it's an oil country. I was a maintenance manager for one of the oil refinery in Kuwait. The lifestyle as in the managerial level, it's a different. This is the style of the life, because as a manager, you will be surrounded with people. They just serve you. They have to serve you. Because once you reach that high managerial level, your scope of work to manage. So you need staff, their job to serve me. I decided to retire. After 25 years, I've been working for that company. So when it reached the time that that was the minimum age for the retirement in Kuwait, or minimum working service for retirement in Kuwait, after serving 25 years. So I said, okay, I reached that, let me go. And most of my colleagues, even my bosses, they said, you are too young, why you want to leave us? I said, okay, no, it's 25 years, it's enough. It's the time for me to enjoy what I earn. I'm not going to retire when I'm too old with a lot of disease that I just retired and die. No, I need to enjoy my life. Life is short, so I need to enjoy it. Then I retired.
After retiring, Abdulmohsen Al-Baghli set himself a clear goal to retire at 100%. Usually fresh pensioners in his country continue to be engaged in affairs, work as consultants, for example. But Abdul decided that this will not happen to him. He decided to change his life at 360 degrees.
I was like a spoiled old man, spoiled young man. So I decided I want really to see my limit. I want to challenge myself. Actually, I think and I believe the most difficult challenge for the human to step out of the comfort zone. I mean, okay, this is my comfort zone. This is the way where I live. I have people serve me with food, they clean things, and I always do nothing. I'm just breathing, because that breathing is the only thing that they cannot do it for me. Yes, I can travel with airplane. It's nice, it's fun somehow, but not for me. Traveling with the car, also nice, but it has some comfort. No. That still has portion of a comfort. So I decided to go for the extreme one. Maybe not so extreme. I'm not going to travel in my bare foot. So I said, let me go with the motorcycle. My first trip, it was from my home to the Kuwait border. It's like 100 kilometers, like 45 minutes. Just a small thing. So that was actually the gathering of the group. We gather. There's a small cafe near the border, Kuwaiti border with Saudi Arabia. Actually, my first trip was to Bahrain, which is like 400 kilometers from my home. It took like five hours or something. And well, okay, I mean, I did it. It was crossing most of the Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Oman. And so actually from Kuwait all the way to Muscat in Oman, around 2,000 kilometers. And I did it perfectly. But that didn't satisfy me. No. Those are like small things. Then the idea of coming to cross Europe came in 2013 to cross entire Europe and come back home. I came out with my motorcycle from my home, crossed the entire Europe, and of course Iran and Turkey, 26,000 kilometers in 60 days. And we came back together, and everybody asked me, with whom you travel? I said, it was a group of two, me and my motorcycle. Well, actually, from the entering border, Russia with Georgia, all the way to Vladivostok, it's around 10,000 kilometers. But I didn't do it yet. I will. Hopefully, I will. But what I did now, right now, I just enter the first portion of Russia. Then I decide to enter Kazakhstan, because I don't like to pass single road twice. So now, instead of going all around Kazakhstan and enter from the north, which is Astana, that's why I decided to come from the southwest border with which is the near Astrakhan, and after Astana I'm going north to Russia and to Moscow and St. Petersburg.
Until now, routes of Abdul Mahsin Al-Baghli were directed to the west. Even 3 years ago, Arab traveler was able to reach the most western point available to his bike.
I had some kind of challenge with myself. I decided in 2013 to touch the far west point on Earth that I can go with my motorcycle without shipping. Maybe you said it's kind of weird rules, but those some kind of rules between me and my bike. I had some kind of decision that we are so attached that we don't want to get separated.
Now Abdul Mahsin Al-Baghli dreams of the easternmost point of land routes, the Russian city of Vladivostok. To achieve such a distant destination, the traveler normally has to cross a lot of countries, and this requires an extensive preparatory work, in particular the issuance of visas. So organizational trails of Abdul brought him to Kazakhstan Embassy in Kuwait.
And that I'm planning to visit Kaza with my motorcycle. It's for them, I'm the first Arabian person that's going to visit. So they said, since you are going to visit our country, why don't participate in the advertisement for the Expo 2017 and the 28th Winter Universiade, which is going to be held next January in Almaty. So I said, why not? I mean, I'll be honored and I'm glad to do that.
Mr. Al-Baghli heard a lot about Expo and Universiade, two large events scheduled in Kazakhstan in 2017. His Kazakh counterpart, biker Dmitry Petruchin, who also with pleasure travels the world riding his two-wheeled Iron Friend, told him all about them in detail. Dmitry happens to travel to home of Abdul, Kuwait. After a brief communication with him, Abdul Mohsen Al-Baghli decided to travel through vast expanses of Kazakhstan.
Maybe I'm the first person that really crossed Kaza from the far west to the far east. Usually most of the travelers, mainly the bikers, which I think most of them, they are from Russia. Usually they cross Kazakhstan north to south or south to north, which is like a 1,000 something or 2,000 kilometers. But I'm the first who, and I'm really proud of that, I did something unique, crossing the entire country, 4,500 kilometers as a zigzag from that side to this side. During that 4,500 kilometers, I've been meeting with different kind of communities, culture in this huge country. And I've been received by 3 families during that road. They received me in their house. I become as a guest for them. And I mean, believe me, those simple, humble house for me is much better than any 5-star hotel. You know, sitting around a small table with the family, it's worth billions, because that small house is full of warm feeling.
Abdul Mohsen Al-Baghli is immersed in his travels. He is pleased with his achievements, new challenges, building in his head even more complex motor routes. Coming from a small, warm, prosperous country, he overcomes kilometers, adapts to the unusual climates, not always favorable living conditions. But this, according to him, a small fee for a new experience, meeting of interesting people. He gets to know the world just like he wanted. He gets to know himself. He changes his own scale of values, his own worldview.
I raised in my lovely family with my parents, my sisters, brother. I was an A student. I still have all those certificates that I was an A student. How or what really pushed me or get me that divergent in my life, I don't know exactly, but again, I was sitting with myself, and before I retired, I find myself surrounded with so many cushions, with so many the luxury of life. Maybe I get fed up from that luxury, and I want to try some other things. Maybe it came to my mind now, what's if? Especially because the engineer, usually they use the term what's if. So what's if all my wealth gone and I have to be working with my hands? So let me try it. Life is it's like a school. It's a school. You have to get trained. Maybe you don't have a single teacher. So why don't be in a school where it's the self-training, try the guest house, try the what they call it, bed and breakfast, the one-star hotel, and the other things. Try to sleep in a tent. I did it, and I'm still alive. I'm still one piece. It is just, I think most of the fear, it's inside. Just try to push those fear, and you can go. The human has tremendous energy. The human has really too much potential. But the thing that we as a human, sometimes we try just to bury our potential. So why don't just remove the sand, remove the dust from the top of my potential, and let's explore it. So, and this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to explore my internal energy, my internal potential, how far I can go away from my comfort zone